Bake with bake. Season 4. Let's go. Here we go, Debate with Bake Sports Show, Season 4, live at Mo City Radio. We talking basketball, football, and boxing. You got something to say, man? Jump up in them comments. We just giving opinions, supporting it with proof. Let's look at the stats, cause numbers tell the truth. It ain't no hating, we just debating, interviewing guests so we can learn how they operating. Shout out the prize picks for the daily fantasy. Invest a few dollars, let's do some gambling. C-Bake got the topics, and he keep it cracking. Laro got the commentary, and he never lacking. Cole with the game, he live from the Big Apple. You know, most serious entertainment made it happen. Another sports show, we live from the Mo. Debate with Bake, Season 4, let's go.
What up? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of DWB. That's Debate with Bake, brought to you by the good brothers and sisters at MoSeriousEntertainment.com. What's going on with you, ladies and gentlemen? The Sports Center of Mo Serious back in the house, back in the place to be, man, to drop that ever evolving content and everything that we got going on as far as sports, man. We happy to be back in the building. We took us a week off, but we back full effect. So make sure you go to MoSerious.com and make sure you hit that like and subscribe on this episode, as we are in episode 11 on season 4, man. We back in the house. And so shout out to everybody. Again, make sure you hit that like and subscribe, support us. And without y'all, man, we ain't nothing. But we here. It's NBA playoff time. We got a lot of debates to talk about. We probably won't get to everything tonight, but we got the NBA playoffs, man, and we got a few topics to come and talk to y'all about. But it's going down, man. We back in Mo City. We got the Willie Beeman jersey in the back with Any Given Sunday. Shout out to my man Willie Beeman. You know what I'm saying? Stephen Willie Beeman. And let's get into it, man. Unfortunately, see, I was gonna say, because it's the playoffs and my man is in the garden right now, meaning my man Cole, I was going to come on here and say, yeah, I gave him a night off. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm his boss. But now, what's up, Cole, man? Shout out to Cole. They actually get ready to start game 2 in the garden right now, the New York Knicks versus the Detroit Pistons. Shout out to Cole. He is at that game. I told him to get us some footage. I also told him to get us some pictures, man. And if he get an interview with Bronson, it would really help us out. But make sure y'all give a shout out to Cole. Cole, what's up, man? If you get a chance, man, holler at us on the show, man. But I also got my other co-host here, Laro Roski. What's up, man? We staying in the H. As y'all can see, Ro got the throwback Houston Oilers colors representing the Houston Astros logo. So what's up with you, Ro, man?
Man, we stay down to climb, man. You know how it is. There's another day, another dollar. We own it.
Another day, another dollar, man. Ro brings it every week, man. Shout out to him. And shout out to my man Chuck, man, behind the wheels of steel, man. Chuck, we thank you for another episode, man. Keep on rocking it. To my most serious family, man, to Guns Down, Gloves Up, Dr. Jeremiah, a.k.a. Johnny Bonda, and Dr. Candace Matthews, and all those who will be participating on their show. Shout out to Mo City Podcast, brought to you by none other than the label head Chuck, man. And make sure you go on MoSerious.com to cop that fresh gear. We will give out that advertisement later. But let's get into it, man. As we looking on the screen right now, Chuck got the screen. The game just kicked off in New York, man. But let's get into it. The NBA playoffs preview roll. The playoff picture is set. We already got the game ones out of the way in the East and the West, man. Let's talk about the East first, and then we'll go to the West, man. Of course, we got to talk about them hometown Rockets, man. They had a heavy loss last night. But let's go to the East, man. Let's talk about these matchups briefly, and let's see if we can get some debate going. We might end up agreeing on everything, man. But at the end of the day, the NBA playoff picture is set. Let's start off in the East, man. We got the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Miami Heat. As we can see, Cleveland did kind of did away with Miami, man. And how you feel about that series so far? Even though we just got one game, what do you foresee for this series?
I like the sample size. I think Cleveland still has to get another round or two under their belt to determine whether or not they for real. But I don't know. I didn't really like the way Miami did away with Atlanta. Atlanta wasn't much better, but they were pretty interchangeable in the spot. I don't really see them as being able to make an adjustment. I think pound for pound, Cleveland is just much too talented for them boys to really rock with right now.
Right.
Yeah, that's about it.
I agree too, man. You know what? And I'm gonna say this, before we get into the West playoff picture. It's like the play-in tournament is kind of like misleading because it's like I was kind of impressed with Miami. I mean, just watching basketball, I'm like, they look good against Atlanta, but then I got to remember it's Atlanta, and that's no disrespect. And so I was woken up to that the other day when I watched them, or yesterday when I watched them play the Cleveland, meaning Miami, and I'm like, you know what, this is a classic 1-8 matchup. I don't know, man. Looking at what I saw yesterday with Golden State, and I was telling Chuck this before we got on the air. I'm like, you know what, Miami ain't the same without. I mean, the Jimmy factor is real, and I was telling Chuck, and we was having this conversation. And I'm not going to leak over to the West, but I'm speaking this in terms of Miami. It's like whatever Jimmy brings, and it's some kind of mentality. You could see it missing over there in Miami.
It's his identity.
Yeah, and it's like they don't look like the same team. They look like they don't deserve to be there. I mean, I know they playing the number 1 seed, but it's just like, every year Jimmy, right? And it's like every year Jimmy is there, whether they in the play-in or not. It's like when they would step on the floor, they look like they had a chance to win. Mm-hmm. They look like an AC to me last night. They look like they just barely scraped by and just got to play the number 1 team in the East. Chuck brought some up, before you came rolled today off air. It's like not ready yet to give Cleveland what they've been in the regular season, just because I haven't seen them playoff tested. This is not a test to me with Miami.
No.
I think they'll do away with Miami pretty quickly. No disrespect to Cleveland or Miami. It sounds like we dissing both of them,
but Broom's probably coming out in Miami.
Right, it could be. And if it's not a Broom, it's a 1 game.
Mm-hmm.
It's 1 game.
Gentleman's sweep.
Yeah, right. Now, much like me and Chuck was talking about Boston and Orlando. Now let's talk about that. What did you see yesterday? Did you get a chance to see that game, Ro? What did you see? Mm-hmm. And tell me, what do you foresee for the conclusion of this series?
To be honest, out East it's really all but a foregone conclusion. I think that the top 4, the top 4 seeds are maybe locks outside of who is that? Outside of Milwaukee. Milwaukee is looking up and down. They're not really quite where they need to be. But yeah, I mean, it'll be a learning experience for Orlando. I mean, unfortunately, they started out hot, and then it's like they kind of got banged up, and they haven't been able to all get on the same page as of. I mean, from an efficiency standpoint, we'll say, what I'm saying? So It's like they're a little all over the place. Mosley still trying to get them together, and they got a tall order in Boston. Boston, I see, is developing a switch where they just really pussyfooting around until the playoffs start and trying to hit that gear, which is disheartening, but we don't really necessarily have to worry about that right now. I'm not saying that's a finals appearance out of them, but they are emerging as the beast out East, in my humble opinion. So to see them in Cleveland lock up down, Cleveland's gonna have to get their affairs in order for that matchup.
Yeah, and, I think we'll be able to tell how real Cleveland is. And Chuck said this off air, 2nd round.
Yeah,
we'll see if they legit what they've been doing all
the real Cleveland.
So, because they'll play the winner out of Knicks and Detroit.
Do they get the win out of 3 and 6? I'm not sure. I think they do. Don't quote me on it. I think they do. I think they get that winner. 1-8. 1-8 versus 3-6 winner, I think. But anyway, go ahead, Ro. Keep going with Boston, Orlando.
Something like that. Yeah, and it's, because it's like Orlando's got a lot of pieces, like between them 2 wings, between Franz and Paulo, or whatever the kid's name is. They got a lot going on. I mean, they got some 2 guards, a couple of 2 guards, little black kid. His name is not literally. He's a light-skinned fella.
Okay, so no, they get Cavs and Heat winner get the winner out of the Bucks and Pacers.
Okay.
That'll get him a little more seasoning.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't like that for Paul Cleveland in the next round.
And that's what I'm saying. We're gonna find out exactly. We're gonna find out how good Cleveland is. I mean, we're going to find out if they legitimately been the best team. Well, they've been the best team on paper in the East all year long, but we're going to find out how good they are. Getting that winner out of that 4-5 matchup is going to tell us what Cleveland is. Now, let me ask you something, because you brought up a good point about Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had high hopes for them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it was injuries that kind of set them back this year? Because I expected them, I'm not going to say I expected them to be a higher seed, but I guess I did. The talent is there.
They played, think about it, they played Cleveland to damn near a draw
last
year.
Exactly. In a 4-5 matchup, right?
With pretty much the same team.
Right,
and
right.
Then it was like, y'all added the right vet in KCP. I'm no KCP fan, but it
fits.
It was a good fit. It was a good fit. So to see the math not quite mathing is disappointing, but that's really all I can point to is those injuries. Paolo missed an extended period. And then, not to mention that, it's really going to be concerning going down the line that he and the little Wagner kid play the same spot. You know what I'm saying? It's like y'all can kind of go double, the triple wing with a triple wing lineup with both of them. But
great point.
At the end of the day, one of them is going to have to separate himself and get some rebounds or play some defense. They're too similar in terms, and then it's like, I'm not sure where LeVert went, because that's the thing. That's another thing hurting Cleveland is that LeVert got out the door right quick on him, and that was really a boast in that second unit. But
which could be a factor in that next round if they do in fact beat Miami. I think you need somebody like a LeVert to go against either Indiana or Milwaukee, because you're going to need some additional scoring. The playoffs is about getting buckets and making adjustments.
There you go.
So definitely, I was thinking the same thing, and I was going to follow up. It's like you read my mind tonight, because I'm thinking about that too. I'm like, that's going to hurt Cleveland. That would help them in the next round. All right, so let me ask you this. I'm with you on that. You alluded to something earlier about Boston. And again, me and Chuck talked about this off air. It's like, to me, they still the most complete team in the East. They the only team to me that looks like, and I'm not going to say we've been here before, but I have confidence that just because I don't know what Cleveland is, Orlando, the rhythm is thrown off by the injuries. New York is shaky.
Yeah, I like New York, but they need seasoning. They
shaky,
more time.
Right,
they need
right,
more time.
right.
They need more time. I'm not gonna lie. I like Detroit.
I'm telling you, man. Listen, I got a creepy feeling up my spine that they could steal one tonight. And if they are, they're gonna be sick in New York. Not to say that New York still won't win the series, but Detroit, the matchups, it's something about them. The other night they looked nervous in the Garden,
and it's something about what our co-host said. As a matter of fact, it's really telling and chilling is the fact that it's really pointing to Tibbs. Man, it's like I think Tibbs might be the problem in New York. Because it's like he's not a bad coach, but he's not the coach that can get you to the next level for some reason.
I have said that 1,000 times on this podcast, because that's what make me mad about Cole. Cole will say he's the one, then Cole will come back, and I guess that's him being a real fan. That's him pulling for his team. You know, when you pull it for your team, you go through 1,000 emotions during the season. And so I'm saying to myself, it's like this. It's like the Bill O'Brien effect. It's like in Houston, he can get us to the second round.
Pencil it in.
Mark it on and I see the same thing with Tibbs. It's like Tibbs is so defensive minded. He's going to always coach a tough team. If he has any GM say, he's going to get tough guys in there. But that's going to be the question is, it doesn't seem like, even the Eastern Conference Finals, that's what is scary about Tibbs. And I think you're right. I've been saying it for years. I'm like, can he get y'all? He can get y'all to the playoffs, but can he get y'all to a championship? So I'm a little frightened about that matchup. Now, Indiana, Milwaukee, I want to talk about this because in my heart of hearts, and you know what? Shout out to you, Chuck, man. I was going through some old episodes today. We were talking about the Pacers and the fact that they always 4 or 5. They're never a glaring team in the East, but they always there. And what scares me about it, and I'm not saying it's this year, but it's like last year they overachieved because nobody expected them to even get to the playoffs. I think they got to the second round and even maybe the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't remember. Don't quote me.
Yeah, they went to the final.
Right. Nobody was picking them. And here they are again. And if I had to put my money down, I'm always going to ride with Giannis. But let me tell you something. If they can beat Milwaukee, I think this is going to be a tough series. If they can beat Milwaukee, they will be a problem for Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
I just think so. I think Milwaukee will be a problem for Cleveland too, but it's just something about the Pacers. They are always there. And maybe it's because the East is weak.
No, I like the way they building teams because it's like the way they
always
Turner,
find a way to get there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they're not in the play-in.
They unsung, you know what I'm saying?
They not Boston, but see, for me, them and Orlando was going to be there. That were going to be the next two teams. I mean, Cleveland was, I think, right underneath them, but Cleveland has superseded my expectations as far as the regular season. But Indiana, Milwaukee, tell me how it goes and why.
I got Indiana in 6.
Okay.
I got Indiana in 6. Giannis is swan song in Milwaukee. He gonna hit the open market as soon as he can. Because
so it's the sun setting in Milwaukee.
Yeah, I really feel like they're trying. I mean, the GM they've tried to do everything they can do in terms of lateral movement and getting pieces in place, but the math ain't mathing, man. It's some kind of way he's too big a star for that, and it's reminiscent of Lou Alcindor being there. He got your ring, but it's like, what can y'all do for me?
Right.
I'm destined for brighter pastures, man. So,
and I feel like they haven't done a good job after the ring. I mean, they've been playoff contenders, but it's like, okay, they haven't shown me anything in free agency to show that they're serious about getting it back. And we don't know if there's something going on there. I mean, I haven't felt right about them.
It's really been since they let Drew Bledsoe out the door. Since they let Drew Bledsoe go, and they thought they was plugging up the hole with Dame Dollar, you know. And it's like
Eric
Bledsoe.
It
was Eric Bledsoe.
Yeah, Eric Bledsoe. Yeah, it's that. I'm gonna say even further. And Chuck, quote me if I'm wrong. I don't think they've been right since they fired my man. Remember, they was in first place.
Adrian Griffin. Yeah,
I don't think they've been right. I think karma been coming back on them because it's like.
And was that over coaching? That was because he and Dame wasn't quite getting along.
Yeah, they were upset at him. They were upset at him, and they were in first place. Remember, they fired him, and they were in first place. And so I just feel like karma's coming back. I think Giannis, as good as he is the reason why they in the 5th spot. And I'm not trying to shit on nobody on their team. But I just think I'm with you. I think they can be got.
Because think about it. The majority of that core from the championship team is still around for the most part.
Right.
You still got Bobby Portis. You still got, Connaughton. I mean.
Well, and then management has not figured out a way. It's okay to keep the same team. But they have not figured out a way to where if things are lacking, they plug in the holes. It's been some holes in this team for a minute, whether it be something with management or just play.
And Kuz was a bad move. That was a bad move to get Middleton out the door.
Yeah, that was Middleton.
You feel me? Because you were just barely getting the production you needed out of Middleton
the other day. Y'all saw what he did for the playoffs?
Yeah.
That boy pulling up Ben Simmons out there.
I'm talking about 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, he had like 4 zeros, fam.
Yeah, this boy been sparring with headgear.
2 fouls or something like that.
It was terrible. And see, that's the thing. And here's the thing. I'm not a Middleton fan, but for what you're doing, you could have kept him for this. If your man gonna give you 4 zeros, 5 zeros like that, you might as well keep Middleton. At least Middleton gonna get you 15 points, in the playoffs. So I think the sun is setting on Milwaukee. And what I mean by that, I think they're gonna probably have to break everything up. I got the Pacers winning 2. I got the Pacers at 7. I think Milwaukee.
It's either that or like get KD.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Like,
but if you get KD, or you sending Giannis?
No, I mean to play with Giannis.
Ooh. You think Phoenix gonna go for that?
I feel like they gonna try to get off of KD.
Yeah, but KD gonna get off.
But I can't see them letting them walk without them saying, "Okay, we giving y'all our franchise, even though he ain't did nothing. Y'all got to give us something."
But see, they're still in bed with Book, so it's like they got multiple fronts and things to consider in Phoenix. Like KD forcing his way out wouldn't be the worst thing that even happened out there. He didn't move the needle, but it's like we're
gonna talk about that later because I got that on the list. It's like, and I wish Cole was his because it's like, I mean, when is this guy gonna get the criticism? Like Stephen A, you criticize LeBron, but this dude and I got it broken down. He's gotten coaches fired and franchises since he's left, other than Golden State, have been destroyed. And so we're going to talk about that later. But I'm with you. I got Indiana over Milwaukee. All right, let's get to the good old West. I think it's pretty self-evident that Oklahoma City is going to walk through Memphis, right?
Yeah, that was shocking, bro. Like after watching Memphis in the play-in, because that's what kind of blew me was my understanding and grasp of the play-in. Because Buzz was dropping games. I was like, oh, them niggas done. You know what I'm saying? They got the spot. Okay, that's cool. The next time, like, they got another date. I'm like, okay, well, they get the last spot now. How the hell Atlanta lost? They done lost twice. What's going on? So that kind of muddled the season. And I really thought that Memphis was kind of hitting a nice little stride because true enough, they got the same problem that Miami got. And that somehow losing Dylan Brooks or whatever math they mathing, dog. Some kind of way they don't have the same personality. They don't have the same team because Ja was the most talented, but he was not the leader of that group. You know what I'm saying? Which is becoming more evident. Well, it was. I mean, is Marcus Smart still on the roster?
Well, see, and that's what I think it is. I think Smart was supposed to plug up that defensive prowess that Brooks had. It never manifested because Smart been hurt. They've coming off a lot of injuries.
They just got the big kid, the only tough guy that that's their only enforcer.
And then you got to ask yourself this question. And it's not Bane's fault, but what is Bane's role? Can he give more?
Yeah, he ain't done much for us lately. He ain't done much for him lately.
And that's why I say the play-in is so deceptive because it's like they look so good against Dallas, and then I shouldn't even be surprised. I've been impressed with Oklahoma City.
You feel me? It's a marketing thing. It's like I understand the gimmick of it all, but only certain teams are able to take advantage of this particular situation. Exactly. Being a Golden State, you got to be maybe a LA. If they in a 7, 8, the 8, 9, 10 spot, you know what I'm saying? They can play their way up from there. But these other teams are clearly not playoff teams.
All right. So since we bias to the 2-7 matchup, let's get to that last. Let's talk about the Lakers and the Timberwolves. Now, I am not surprised that the Timberwolves were able to beat them and how they beat them the first game. I got the Timberwolves winning this series.
I think so.
I just think, and I don't think it has anything to do with. First of all, I'm not going to shit on LeBron or Luka. I think they've done excellent for the small amount of time they've been together. However, I just think Minnesota has the talent, and I think they're too deep for the Lakers. I just think they're too deep. I think it's a bad matchup just because Minnesota has so many weapons.
That's right. Minnesota's got all them wings. They can run at LeBron.
Exactly.
They can play wing by committee against LeBron and Luka, and pretty much, I mean, Luka got his, but Luka's gonna get his.
Exactly. They got so many guys that are being from 6'5" to 6'8" athletes.
Yeah, man, McDaniels and Vanderbilt.
And I think
Vanderbilt might be in LA.
I think he's in LA, but I think Naz Reed, the 6th man of the year, I think he's a problem. I think he's a match
for everybody, let alone LA.
Right. And to be honest with you, and I want to see how you feel about this, and anybody in the chat that want to comment on this, because my whole thing is, I think they're the only team-wise, is deep enough to beat Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
In a 7-game series. I'm talking about winning 4 games.
Style of play.
Yeah. I think they're the only team that can match up with Oklahoma City. Not to say
maybe a Denver.
Well, I was getting ready to clear that up. I told Chuck this too. Not to say that I think a veteran team can beat Oklahoma City. I think Denver can do it. But I also think Denver could lose because they don't have enough.
Yeah. They also
I think Minnesota has the depth to beat Oklahoma City.
Because is Brody starting? Or he is pretty much they 6 man.
I don't know. I just think beyond Gordon, Jokic, and then everybody else is by committee. I think Jokic matchup is bad for anybody. I just think that the playoff experience of a Minnesota with a great player, with a couple of athletic pieces, could beat a young Oklahoma City team because of the experience. Definitely. And you hit Denver in the mouth, I don't think they'll fold because they've been there.
Definitely.
However, talent-wise, I don't think Denver has enough. No. Fast forward, I think Minnesota, they may lack the experience, even though they've been to the Western Conference Finals, I think, last year. I think they have the talent that could beat Oklahoma City. I got them running through the Lakers. Yeah, I'm not going to say a sweep, but I got them running through a Lakers.
Yeah,
I think
LA
it's a bad matchup for the Lakers.
That's another gentleman's sweep, I think.
Yeah, it could possibly happen.
Because they was in LA, correct?
Yes.
There was in LA.
They took game one in LA, and it just looked like they were overbearing.
Wasn't no answers because LA didn't play bad. That was the problem. They didn't look particularly bad.
Exactly. I got Minnesota winning that game. Now you got Minnesota, you got 6 or 7, or you got sweep.
I got Minnesota in gentleman's sweep.
Okay. That could happen. Very well could happen. All right, let's talk about the 4-5 matchup. I like this matchup. Nuggets versus the Clippers. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Of course, I'm favoring the Nuggets just because I think they got the best player in basketball on their team, and I think at the playoff experience. However, the Clippers make me uncomfortable because I think, first of all, I don't think nobody, I could be wrong, I didn't have them making the playoffs this year. And what I mean by that is you don't know when Kawhi is going to be there. I think James should get some votes for, I can't say 6 man because he's starting.
Comeback player.
I was saying even comeback
maybe
player.
All NBA second team.
Maybe
NBA
something like that.
team.
Because here's the thing. Even though he hadn't been getting a lot of press, he's been solid for them. He's held them together when Kawhi was not there. And here's this is another reason why I think James is a shoe-in for the Hall of Fame. Kind of like LeBron is the durability. He's not the James of the Rockets. But for him to be able, if I told you now at this point in his career, he's averaging 20 plus points and he's almost averaging, or he could be averaging double digits in assists. And the Clippers, the team that he's leading, by which he has not been out, he hadn't been hurt. They're in the 5th seed of the playoffs.
In a tough West.
Yeah. A James Harden, and here's the thing, a James Harden as a point guard leading the team. Not as a 2 guard with the Houston Rockets, not as a 2 guard with the Philadelphia 76ers, but as a point guard. And Philly kind of dilly-dallied with him at the point more. But he's a full-fledged point guard now, averaging a double-double or nearly a double-double. At this point in his career, he needs some votes for comeback player of the year. Or a second team or some kind of, because I think
him in the ghetto. They done unlocked that level on him.
Right.
It's like that's how you maximize his usage and potential. That's why out here when he was playing at 2 guard role for us, ride the gas, you know what I'm saying? After all them 40 pieces, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got nothing. You know what I mean? One trick pony. But out here distributing and this, that. I mean, he like that cold nigga at 24-hour fitness. You know what I'm saying? It's like he old as shit. Great beard might be gray.
And see, that's what when people hear me talk about him in Houston, I've always said this, man, and I hope people can see it now. Like what he was in Oklahoma City, what he is now. Now, don't get me wrong. Oklahoma City coming off the bench. Let me say this because I'm going to get criticized. He was a scorer. Okay. And the difference is in LA, he's more of a distributor. But let me say this. I think he's a second and third option on the team. Whether he's a scorer or what he's doing now, I think that's the best version of James Harden.
Definitely.
Now, some people say, well, how could you say that? The numbers in Houston, MVP, a number of triple doubles. I mean, the offensive explosion he had in Houston.
I'm gonna mess him up. The only reason that really happened and the way it looked the way it did is we snuck Lou Williams out of there for a couple of years, and Lou Williams is a flamethrower off the bench. And see, the thing is, it disguised the effort that Harden was having to put forward for a long time.
Right.
It was like Lou would go with that second unit and give you 25, and Lou would even give you 50, you know, but it's like that would really it kind of disguised the problem that Harden was running himself in the ground and just
it was D'Antoni, right?
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
That D'Antoni.
it was the system.
Yeah.
And that's what I said to me. And people, they misunderstand what I'm saying. Listen, for years I've said this, and I'm glad you brought it up. Lou Williams, Jamal Crawford, James Harden. In those years, those three guys ran the league as far as the sixth man of the year.
Oh, easy.
And Eric Gordon was in that too.
Eric Gordon was in
too,
there before he was a starter. Yeah.
All four of those guys I just described at one time were professional scorers. They're guys that come in and get buckets. That's why I said for me, for Houston, it was like, okay, Daryl Morey, offense. We're going to pay a guy and we're going to bring a coach in here to support a guy that can score a lot of points. I don't necessarily believe in building your team like that, but if you're going to swing for the fences, it's Harden was that guy in terms of points. If you're going to go that style, you're going to build a team around somebody who can score and pass. I get it, because if you look at D'Antoni's teams, probably his most successful teams with Steve Nash was doing the same thing. Not quite the same,
but similar.
But similar
Similar
system, right? Where we get up as many threes as possible. We don't shoot a lot of 2-pointers. We get a lot of free throws, and we try to outscore you, right? So for years, that's what I've said, and people thought I've been that hard on Harden. I'm just like, listen, I just don't want him as my number one option. I want him as my second or third, or what he's doing now for the Clippers.
Yeah, because it's like Harden in a one-on-one is lethal.
Right.
Even at Harden might be what 47.
Right.
I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, he's lethal as a one-on-one play. He's one of the dirtiest, got one of the sickest left-handed handles and finish all of that.
I don't know, man. So with that being said, is Harden, and it looks like a rejuvenated Kawhi, is that enough to beat Denver? This is a tough series for me to call because I don't want.
You know what? I think it'll go 7. I don't think it's enough to beat Denver per se, because Aaron Gordon and really Jamal Murray and Joker's best game.
Get to talk about Murray.
Nothing you really can't quite do with that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just a tough spot because they're strong everywhere the Clippers are not.
Right.
You know what I'm
there
saying?
You go.
So it's like they're just not matching up quite. Even if everything goes right, it's still a tough. It's tough.
It's a tough matchup because the best that the Clippers have is Kawhi and Harden, and so Denver feels like the experience, the playoff experience factor, and it feels like the depth belongs to Denver.
Yeah, definitely.
I ride with Denver.
They got that kid named
7-game series too.
Braun.
Yeah.
Messing with my head. I'd be like, "How is that Brown? That boy
like Braun or something like that."
He's a kid. Yeah, and he be putting in work.
All right, let's talk about the 2-7 matchup, and then we'll get into our fantasy picks of the week. All right, our Rockets versus Golden State, and it didn't look good last night. It didn't look good. I'll tell you what, man. I still think the Rockets have a shot to win. But last night, it just looked like the experience of the Golden State Warriors got the best of our Houston Rockets. 2 things that I saw. Number one, and it just doesn't feel right saying this.
How does the first round work? Is it 2-3-2?
I don't remember.
What's the format?
I don't know.
It's 2-3-2. So we're gonna go there for 3 straight.
Yeah. See, and I hate to say this. I hate to say this because it doesn't feel right. It don't sound right. But I feel like Ime got our coach last night. And I don't say that. I say that lightly. And I was telling Chuck again, whatever Jimmy is doing as far as his influence, you see it now.
You feel me?
With Golden State.
That tomball fella is contagious.
And it's not that he's doing anything that sticks out on the court. He's taking whatever the defense gives him. He's not a great shooter, but he's a good shooter. He's not a great handler, but he's a good ball handler. He doesn't turn the ball over. He makes the right play for the right situation. But whatever it is, and since he's been there, I think they've only lost 2 games or something like that.
They 17-3,
There
bro.
is a dog factor that he brings to the team to where you can't measure it in points and stats, but they just look like they're in contention for another title run.
Yeah. He's brought
And
magic.
I don't think, I mean, they barely getting into the playoffs. In fact, if he doesn't come there, I don't think they make the playoffs.
That's the same stuff going that he did in Miami. How you bring it out west? I just don't quite understand.
Even Miami, all the great things they did in the playoffs, even in the bubble, it's like he gives them something to where they feel like they can win, even though they don't have the talent or matchup. It's just weird.
Yeah.
They just looked superior last night.
And the most alarming thing is we had mad trouble with him before Jimmy even got there.
Exactly.
That's what troubles me the most is the fact that we were on the slide. It might have been a 15, 20 game losing streak back to the wars with Harden when Harden was here. And it's like they didn't pretty much just owned us while we were getting stuff together. And is that a testament to Steve Kerr? Is that because it's not necessarily I've seen him win games where Steph went like 1 for 11 and they still knock us off some kind of way. But it's like, I mean, that game yesterday was just incredible. Steph was hitting shots that it's hard to say he shouldn't be hitting. They were contested shots. I mean,
you can't call it luck.
You feel me?
But you want to call it luck.
But you want to call it luck.
Really
and I'm talking about it was a few he was straight up buried and was still hitting them.
But see, and see, that's the thing, though. But see, I think, and the Rockets don't have this. I think the only way you can stop him is you have to go at him defensively.
Yeah.
We don't have, and I say this lightly because I think we have guys that can do it. We just don't do it on a consistent basis. Back when we had a chance to beat them in that Western Conference Finals, when Chris Paul went down, we had the same element that the Cleveland Cavaliers showed us before us. They had Kyrie and LeBron, and they would run a pick and roll. Whoever he guard, they just went and
murdered him.
We had the same formula with Harden and CP3 to where we made him play defense.
And it gave him fits.
And it gave him fits. And so I think you have to have somebody who can go at him, whoever he switches off on. I don't know that we have. We have guards that can do that, but we don't run that in the system that we run. You have to wear him out on the defensive end because he's not a good defensive player. He tries.
He puts
forth the effort, but he just doesn't have good feet on defense. Now, here's the thing. I say the playoff experience. I think we got our coach last night, and I say that lightly because I like Udoka. But also, and I'm gonna brag about this. I told y'all before this on the air, like I see why they didn't give Sagone and Green those 5-year contracts because we don't have enough. Green needed to step up last night. And
he shot horrible. He was like 3 for 15 or something crazy.
And I've always said this in the playoffs. If you're the superstar of the team, you got to at least give us what you average.
You have to manufacture points.
Exactly.
It's like look, the jumper not falling. They hugging the perimeter.
You gotta find a way.
Drive. You got the quickest first step on this. Yeah, I mean, I chalked it. I reserved judgment for game 3 to really tell exactly how it's gonna go.
And that may be the safe thing to do. And I don't mean to interrupt you. That's why I was telling y'all before. I'm with them giving them 3-year contracts because these are the games and the moments where you get the 5-year contract versus the 3-year. Now it's only game 1, but I understand why the Rockets did. I need more. Last night, in particular, Green, I think Sagoon did pretty good.
He played all right.
Yeah, he was a high scorer.
Right. Green, you have at least got to give me your average in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't care if you don't shoot well.
Because I'm
last
splitting
night,
your check. I'm going to split your bag and give Amen and Jabari that.
And that's why you get a 3-year deal versus a 5-year deal. Because you just have not. You show me spurts. But you just have not shown me.
He will be one of the dudes who go ahead and hit free agency and go on splash somewhere else, take a couple lumps, and then come give us fits later. He's got he's a talented player. I mean, understand he's an extremely talented kid. However, yeah, it's just we walk a fine line out here, man.
Exactly. And it's just games like yesterday where I just needed a little bit from you. And maybe it's game 1. And maybe you're doing the same thing in terms of you reserve judgment to game 3. That's smart.
Mm-hmm.
But and I hate to be right on this, but this is why I said that, man. Like, I understand why they gave him 3-year deals.
Yeah. We start looking befuddled because it's like the veterans we have. I thought that experience would carry us over. You know, and I thought that Dylan Brooks and Van Fleet with that ring out there and in Toronto. Even I didn't realize my man came off the bench. That was Kyle Lowry won that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, you
which he doesn't get enough credit for that.
Right, you participated, but it's like, hey,
I mean, you hit some big shots off the bench.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? So it's like I thought we had enough to get. I thought once we got slapped in the mouth a couple times, we would wake up and have a little bit more fight.
Right.
But we just kind of tucked tail and then went through the motions the rest of the game.
That's the best way to put it. That's the best way to put it.
We look real New York. We look real.
Shot at my man Cole. But let's say this and then we'll move on. What are the adjustments, Chuck? You can get in on this too because you watch game 1. What do we adjust to win? We got to get game 2. I feel like we have to.
Yeah, game 2 is a must win for us because it's like we go down.
What do we need to change?
We gotta make shots. Dudes Shingun was the only person who made shots. Green was 3 for 15. Van Fleet, everybody hitting starting 5 had single digits in points.
And my thing, I think that,
you know what I'm saying. And so that was all from missed threes, missed free throws, and turnovers. Yeah. And so shout out to Steven Adams, came through with the huge rebound game, offensive and defense. Shout out to Tari Eason because he needs more minutes. When Steph was moving slow, Tari was on him.
And I tell you who else need more minutes. The attitude case. Cam Whitmore needed some minutes last night.
He should have.
Whitmore should have had Jalen Green touches after you saw Jalen Green like a deer in the headlights. You supposed to uncork.
So that's Cam Whitmore. That's back to the you made. When I said the coaching, I was like, bro, at a certain point, you got to be like, Jalen, not today, fam.
You feel
Cam
me?
at the end of the bitch,
even
with
if you
a fully loaded clip.
You feel me? Like we warm up song, and you steady giving that boy to look like, yeah. See, if you would practice right, nigga, you would have got it. Like, nah, at the time I fouled that we the 2 seed, nigga. All that shit is done. Like Udoka, I ain't got time for you teaching no lesson for next year.
Yeah,
like we got to take advantage of
right now
the opportunity now. Because it's gonna be a dog fight with OKC either way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We still got to worry. We got them to worry about, like priority, but we can't look past Golden State because Golden State will give Oklahoma City a tough run. Can't beat them. Like by far, somehow them Golden Warriors are so devoid of talent. You know what I'm saying? It's like them niggas. It's like after they let Wiggins out the door. Yeah. I mean, no, don't get me wrong. They got talent. I mean, but they don't play. Like what's the kid? Kuminga don't play. You know what I'm saying? The guys that can hoop don't play in Golden State for some reason. I mean,
get traded.
minus Jimmy and minus Steph, of course.
And
you know
the
what I'm saying?
Boy,
Pozeminski. I'm talking about he got the craziest little McGregor Park jump shot. It's like, say, man, who is this good white dude? And I'm talking about got 5 of them because you can tell Jimmy been smacking sparks off them boys in practice, man. You know what I mean? That ain't no game. That boy he made hero what he is today. Right. Like Jimmy is really, I don't know.
That boy told Buddy Hield, this is Jimmy Butler, his teammate. Mm-hmm. He told Buddy Hield yesterday, stop dribbling, fam. I don't like when you dribble. Mm-hmm. Pass that bitch.
Mm-hmm. And that's 100. And it's like Buddy Hield production after. I mean, I'm that's stockpile so many like shooters.
That don't work on them young teams.
Nah. You break one of the kids' heart. If he came out here, Jalen Green wouldn't come out the closet for a month.
Well, and credit to him, it's kind of a Jordan effect where Jordan, there was no room in Chicago in terms of like Jordan was the standard. Management was not going to rescue you from Jordan. You just had to, if you were a Chicago Bull, you had to raise your game. Jimmy in the past has had that reputation of when he was in Minnesota, they had to get him out of there because majority of them were young and they just couldn't take the pressure that he was putting them on. Like they described it as he's destroying the locker room. And so when your best players are intimidated, it's like, well, we got to get him out of here. You know what I'm saying? Then they had to get Tibbs out of there too and do the same thing in Chicago where they just couldn't take, and he's kind of got that old school mentality of, if we're not playing the way I think we should play, I'm gonna make it hell for everybody on this team.
How many stops on my man's books?
He's been around. And see, that's been his reputation.
Yeah, everywhere.
It's been Philadelphia. It's been Miami. It's been Chicago.
He's won while he was there, though. That's what makes it weird. It'd be different if it was like Brody right? Well, we taking L's in these places. He getting boys to the playoffs.
But see, that's the thing too, though, because see, that's what makes it look bad in Miami is it wasn't players, it was the guru. It was
Pat Riley.
And Pat Riley has been known to like make people uncomfortable to win. So if you making Pat Riley uncomfortable, so Jimmy is getting this reputation of killing the team. But then he gets to Golden State, and if he doesn't get there, it looks like they don't make the playoffs. They make the play-in
and catch fire,
and then come to Houston and dismantle the number 2 seed.
Comfortable.
And they got all the momentum going into the playoffs. I mean,
look, I can't make this stuff up.
It can't. But man, let's get into it. Chuck, give us a game check on the Knicks. Give us a score check, and then let's get into the prize picks, man.
All right, so shout out to Cole, man. If you need to tap in with us, give us a live report from the game. That'd be kind of cool.
Right.
But right now with 6.5 minutes left in the second quarter, Detroit by 10, 42-32.
Okay.
Oh, Bickerstaff, man. JB.
I hope he get his props, man. He been kicked around
for real, and ain't done a bad job nowhere. Ain't done a bad job.
So shout out to Prize Picks, man. Since you invest a few dollars and make a few dollars, we got that one game tonight. That one we just talked about, Denver versus Clippers. So let's find 6 players, man, from the Clippers. They got a Red Goblin on the more. Y'all think James Harden gonna have more than 25 points?
I'm not okay with that.
More than 25?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I think he averages 20. I wouldn't gamble on him doing more than what he averaged. That's just my opinion. Points wise,
I go lower.
He had 32 last game, 39 the game before that, 23 the game before that, 35 the game before that.
And Denver won game 1.
Denver won game.
How much points he had in that game?
32.
See, I'm still not, because I just feel like I know he can do that. I just don't want to gamble on him having to do more than 25 points more.
I'd be more inclined to go lower
over the last 5 games.
Shit, I still can't go. I can't do it.
I would still be inclined to go lower.
Yeah,
I would think,
So
and that's not even no knock.
He's gonna go off for like a high triple double.
See, I do, but
tonight.
I think the Clippers might go. I think the Clippers might play better as a whole.
I just don't want to gamble on the fact. I don't want to go past his average, man. And that's just because it's the playoffs. And I think if I'm the Clippers, I'm trying to get Kawhi the ball more. I mean, for us, if James is scoring 30 plus, is that really good for us in terms of who we trying to get off, which is Kawhi? I mean, we know James is capable of doing that. But I'm not going with him scoring more than
You think he's gonna have more than 3 3-pointers?
I'd be more inclined for that.
I rock with that.
Versus him having more than 25 points.
It's too mixed a bag because he might have like 22 and like 15 assists.
Now, don't get me wrong, Chuck. I get what you're saying because that's not a bad gamble, but I'm just not safe with it.
So y'all got Kawhi Leonard for more than 20 then?
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah. I think, and I think they're gonna try to get him to get more than 20.
Okay, we was talking about they center Zubac. Let's see here. What is the average been?
Now, this is going to be tricky to me.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been averaging 21 over the last 5 games. Do we think he'll have more than 18 tonight?
Oh,
man,
that's tough because see, he's got his hands full with that damn Joker.
Yeah.
And then anyway, he keeping the Joker honest. I still don't see him being a 1 or 2 option. It's gonna have to be a lot of creation for him.
Trash points. It's gonna be rebounds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And in a couple of lobs, maybe from James. Right, you know what I'm saying?
Right. He's gonna be set up for points. So what else is another bet on him stat wise? Rebounds. I'm not prepared to go 18. I don't know. That's a lot.
I mean, we rocking. No, I agree. I completely agree.
That's just a lot for me with him to gamble on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree as well. See on the PRA. PRA tough too. So 35 on the PRA.
Oh my God.
That's points, rebounds, and assists.
35
with just single rebounds.
35. He's been averaging 39 on the PRA for the last 5 games.
What about Powell?
Yeah, look at Norman Powell.
I'm just not ready for Zubac.
Yeah, because see, Zubac, anything you get is extra.
Yeah,
I wouldn't gamble on nothing you got.
All right, so with Norman Powell, we got I think he's gonna have more than 17 points. Higher or lower.
That's a stretch.
Damn, yeah.
Okay, so they got easy money here for him, 2 assists.
Okay.
Rock with that. Let's rock it.
Yeah,
Run it.
yeah,
Run
go
it.
with that, man.
Run it.
Jeez, 17 points from Norman Powell in the playoffs. Lord have mercy.
Have me on the air next time. They got beat down to my socks.
Exactly.
That's what y'all think about Jamal Murray tonight.
Okay, that's a good one. Let's talk about that.
All right.
So let's see.
That's a good one.
15 points.
Yeah.
I think easy.
Yeah,
Good to go.
That's easy. Yeah, that's easy.
Yeah, I think this easy money for Joker too. 22 points.
Yeah. What's his PRA?
Yeah, they set a trap for us.
Yeah. Well, what's his PRA?
Yeah.
What's his PRA for the Joker?
That might be the safe bet.
Yeah, for the
These
Joker.
all safe bets. I've chosen all the safe bets.
Yeah.
They got to mark this safe.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
because he
So
definitely gonna get
PRA
22 points. But you want to see the combined stats.
Mhm.
We're just curious because the higher one will probably pay out higher. Right?
That's because the 22 points with Joker is a safe stat
Mhm.
bet.
They got the PRA listed. They got his points and assists at 37.
Damn, that's high. Yeah. Okay. Well, I understand why.
But think
why.
about that. 22 points, which means how many more assists? 15?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, and the Joker would throw a game at you like that.
30, 20, 20.
It's
Like
not
he'll do
beyond
that.
here.
He might do that.
It's not
He
beyond
might do
him.
that. If we gamble.
And the way
That'd be
Denver
the
been
one.
playing, like
That'd
the
be
way
he gamble, dog. I ain't gonna lie, but we can't stay safe. But I'm telling you, like,
no,
I would gamble on that. And you know, I'm always a conservative one.
That's a safe bet. It's relatively safe. I feel it's a method to the madness.
What's that? 15 assists,
Yeah.
22 points, 15 assists.
No, and so it don't. He could get it was,
Long as it gets 37. But
exactly. He could get 30 points and 7 assists. Right?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of money in the bank. Real talk.
Just
Real
because it's
talk.
him.
Just because it's the Joker.
All right, we'll take that one off. We'll go with more on that. And give me something for Aaron Gordon, fam. Y'all think he's gonna have more than 6 rebounds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Gordon a lot.
Me
Gordon
too.
really
Me
unsung.
too.
Yeah,
Me
Gordon
too.
is really
I like
a nice player. He's a nice player top to bottom.
I feel good gambling on Joker with the triple doubles and all that.
I don't even have to check. I don't really check with him. I watch the line on Bleacher Report every now and then and just marvel at his end numbers because it's like I just swore he got here when his brother's keeping the books or something like say, man.
Exactly.
It's no way.
All right. Well, shout out to Prospects for the opportunity to do a little bit of gambling. And so I got a question for y'all from the comments while we was doing that. Shout out to Nicole Polanco. They said, what's your thoughts on Zubac for the season?
That's the Clippers center, right?
Yeah. That we were just debating on, right?
To answer that, I think he's very underrated. I think they've got the correct situation with Harden and you know Kawhi coming along, but I think he fits because Harden likes to run a lot of pick and roll. Zubac has good soft hands. He's a double-digit scorer. He can get a lot of trash points, but here's the thing. He can get you 3 or 4 isolation plays and buckets just because he's so big and skilled.
He's got a nice jump hook. Yeah, he's got a nice little jump hook.
I think he's still got a lot in the tank. And I think the way the Clippers have got it set up with Harden, with doing a lot of pick and roll, I think his career can continue to flourish as he stays in that system.
Yeah, I think he's definitely trending upward. You know what I'm saying in terms of his production and his development. No, certainly. I like Zoo. I like Zoo a lot.
I like him. I just think with James Harden being who he is, I think that's exactly the type of point guard you want to put with Zubac. a guy that can create and get easy baskets.
Joker right now, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody that deal with him it's gonna be a problem. So,
but see, he can take on the same token, though. He can take it. They can take advantage of Joker's slow feet,
right?
His lack of athleticism. It's like Zubac kind of got a leg up in terms of athleticism, but to each his own. It still is not gonna serve him.
And let me say this: we don't even know if Zubac is gonna be playing him per se the whole game. I can see them putting a more of an athletic guy on Joker. You don't put Zubac on him the whole game. You throw a committee at him.
Mm-hmm.
So, because you still want that production out of Zubac.
Yeah.
So I just think you throw different hands at him. I hope that answered the question. So
all right, shout out to the question, bro, from the chat. Let's get into a couple sponsors and then we'll pick up.
Okay, cool, bro.
Men's Fragrance, your home for 100% authentic men's cologne. We carry high-end fragrances like Creed, YSL, Gucci, Polo, and more with below retail prices. All orders come with free shipping. Order online at mens-fragrance.net. Men's Fragrance. Smell good for less. Yo, rep the movement with Mo Serious Fashions. Copy your fresh snapback or hoodie or a tee, all representing the Mo City Podcast, Debate with Bake, or Gloves Up, Guns Down. Everything is custom made with love from our top-notch manufacturers. We got a dope range of colors and sizes to fit your vibe. Everything from blue, red, green, black, white, and more. Rep the Mo and keep it fresh, fam. Hit up moseries.com/merchandise and order today. Let's go.
Stop. It's COVID, flu, and RSV season. Boost your immune system now.
Fortress was developed to provide key ingredients that provide such aid to the body's immune mechanisms.
So how do I fight COVID, the flu, and RSV?
So our job isn't to defend ourselves from things, it's to help support our body's natural immune system to begin with. And when you look at Fortress, that's exactly what we're after. Individually sourced ingredients that have been demonstrated to support our natural immune system and help our bodies just do a good job at what they're naturally meant to do. And that's why Fortress is a very nice combination of these independently sourced ingredients that can help support a healthy immune system.
Learn more about Fortress and natural ways to boost your immune system by clicking the link.
All right, shout out to our sponsors, man. Shout out to Chuck for getting those sponsors for Mo Serious. You can check out the clothing and everything that you saw in terms of products. You can check them out on moserious.com, especially if we want to talk about, having a debate with Bake hat, hood, or Mo City podcast. Everything that comes with clothing is on the Mo Serious website. So hit us up on moserious.com and make sure you hit your likes and subscribes for Debate with Bake podcast, episode 11, season 4. All right, let's get into it. We only got a few things to talk about. The majority of the show is about the NBA playoffs, but we can touch a little bit of the National Football League. Let's talk about this to give a little bit of hometown flavor to the Texans agreed to terms on a 3-year, $39 million contract extension with Jalen Pitre. Shout out to Jalen. I actually got a chance to kind of coach him a little bit over there at Westbury Christian. But let's talk about that. What's your thoughts on that role? How do you feel about this contract extension with the safety?
Oh, man, I'm over the moon for the kid, man. Like I said, that defense was looking really, really frightening with him back there before he went down. And that was one of them holes in that secondary that kind of ended up biting us in the foot. I'm glad for the hometown kid. I think it's definitely a good thing, a step in the right direction. And the safety, the secondary is going to be crazy with the additions that they've made and him coming back.
Yeah, I agree with the extension. And what I mean about agreeing with it is I so much bad. I'm biased because I know the kid. I'm biased because I think if he didn't get hurt, I wanted the Pro Bowl for him.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like he was one of the top safeties in the league, but it's just the fact that he was playing so well and then he got hurt. I do worry about him in terms of his size. And what I mean by his size is that he enjoys hitting. And so I wonder what does his offseason program look like? But I love the kid. I think he deserved the extension. I do think they're a different team when he's out in terms of that secondary. What I love about what he does is his ability to roam. He made a lot of plays, and we don't see this from free safeties nowadays. He made a lot of plays right up there on the line of scrimmage. And then, it kind of reminds me not
Sanders
the same.
Looking,
Bobby Sanders / Troy Polamalu.
Mm-hmm.
Not the same body structure. I don't want nobody to be like, oh, here you go, compare them. But I'm saying the ability to roam around and make plays all over the field.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to him. I thought the Texans did right by extending him because the last thing I want to see is what happened to, didn't we have Honey Badger?
Yeah.
And then he went over to Kansas City
and won.
And I think Pitre is in that same line of players.
Yeah.
So kudos to them. Hold on to him now. And I think he does a lot of the same things that Honey Badger does as well.
Oh, definitely.
So,
he's a ball
so
hawk.
disappointed when they let go Honey Badger.
Right. And so,
I think him over there with Stingley. And I
think
Lassiter,
does Stingley get another contract or something like that in the offseason or something like that? Stingley, he made the Pro Bowl this year, didn't he?
Yeah.
I want to say they gave him an extension or something. I can't remember, but we'll look it up later.
And we got the kid from Philly. I want to say we saw somebody else from Philly too.
So shout out to them. I think the Texans are handling their business, but I thought they did a great job with this. Let's not let another good player, especially a defensive player, walk out of town and go somewhere else and win the Super Bowl.
Agreed.
Stingley signed 3-year, $90 million.
I think we reported on that earlier this year. Yeah. So shout out to the Texans. So Casario's doing his job over there. Great signing. All right. This doesn't surprise me, but I put this on the list. The Cleveland Browns and veteran quarterback Joe Flacco reach an agreement on a 1-year deal, $4 million, worth up to $13 million with incentives. Joe keeps coming back around. He keeps getting a contract. And listen, I'm laughing, but hey, he's performing.
Yeah, ain't mad at him.
You know what I'm saying? So what can you say, man? Shout out to Joe, man. He comes in every year. He's in shape. He won the comeback player of the year that year, didn't he? When I think Watson went down.
Mm-hmm.
So
won the playoff game.
Yeah. And the thing is, that's going to be the question. The reason why I understand this by the Browns is because if they are going back to Watson, why not have that backup quarterback that we had? We believe in Joe. They probably got a third quarterback over there, but it's like maybe they're giving Watson another go. Not saying that this signing has anything to do with Watson, but they definitely bringing Joe back. That's going to be the question. Who's going to be the starter? Is it Watson, or do you bring somebody else in?
I think long term, you bring somebody else in maybe after a while, but it's like the way I feel about it. As long as they ain't paying A-Rod no money, it's fine. I ain't really tripping. You know what I'm saying? It's like as long as Aaron Rodgers don't get another job like that, I'm pretty much cool with it. Flacco done played his way to about that. It's no secret what they getting out of it.
Right.
Don't expect too much. Don't expect too little. It's a means to an end, but that's
well. And then here's the thing: I don't have a problem with it for another reason. Number one, it's exactly what you want a backup quarterback to be. Listen, you're not good enough to be out there every game where a team is game planning for you every Sunday. However, you are good enough within the 6 games stretch to keep us at least 500.
Right. Just steady.
That's all I want from my backup quarterback. Now, anything greater than that, 5-1, 4-2.
Yeah.
You're overachieving for me.
Yeah. Straight up.
So I think he can still do that. I mean, we don't have all the stats, but maybe we break that down. Like for the known backup quarterbacks in the league, he's probably in the top tier.
How long that kid from Indianapolis been retired?
Which one?
The good one, the real good one. We were gonna have problems with him.
Andrew Luck.
Yeah. How long he been gone?
He been gone for a minute.
Really?
Yeah.
I was gonna say he deserved any cause that Flacco.
Yeah. Well, I think he just decided
he hung up on his own.
Yeah, because he got hurt so much.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, other than that, I mean, backup quarterbacks.
So you don't want A-Rod to go to Pittsburgh?
I think it's a waste of time. You know what? I think it'd be Tomlin committing job suicide.
But in all fairness to that,
mm-hmm.
they would still get to the playoffs because he got to the playoffs with Randolph.
You right?
As a quarterback.
Anyway, they put A-Rod on IR. I don't know. AI is just AI. Sorry, AI. Shout out to Everson. My fault. He's cancer. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like some kind of way he's cancer, and it's like I felt sorry for him after I heard about the meeting he had with Aaron Glenn or somewhere. Glenn said, "Look, we're going a different direction. We just want to know how it's gonna come out. You know what I'm saying? How you want us to put it out?" And he like he did the diva. What do you mean? We were just gonna start talking. I flew all the way out here. You could have told me that on the phone. It's like, yeah, you sound like my bro. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop it. That's the problem they got with you now, with your Favre paradigm that you trying to relive. I just don't. I don't like it. As a matter of fact, that'd be the easiest way to switch places with Cincinnati. I put it on the books. If that comes to fruition,
Pittsburgh,
yeah, Cincinnati's taking a spot. Pittsburgh going back up the division. Pittsburgh going to take a back seat and finish last in the division.
I don't think he's playing that bad.
He's not, but still, it's something about it. It's something about it. It's the intangibles.
I actually think he could work in Pittsburgh simply because I got that much confidence. Like, listen, if Thomas
they just signed, he got people to throw it to him.
And here's the thing, he doesn't have to do much. They always build a team where the quarterback doesn't have to do too much. If Russ can get out, and I like Russ, if they can go to the playoffs with Mason Rudolph, they can go to the playoffs with Aaron Rodgers. Justin Fields, who's good but still not proven. And I'm with you. Rodgers, listen, I'm with you. Listen, Rodgers is a diva. You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking at it in terms of this. In Pittsburgh, if you don't, Fields is gone, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Fields is gone.
Wilson gone too.
Russell gone too.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be ideal to sign Aaron Rodgers. As much as the defense he is.
You know what? But they have so much talent. They look a lot like the Jets looked before he got there.
Yeah, but the Jets, man, they got so much bad luck. Like, that's what I'm saying. How can you not have confidence in the man as a coach? The man took Mason Rudolph, and no disrespect.
No, that's facts. Them facts.
But they went to the playoffs with that.
Yeah.
Now, you on to something about Cincinnati. Cincinnati, if they could ever figure out the first 5 games, but then again, you know, if we had to bet right now, Cleveland was probably at the bottom of that division.
Definitely. No question.
I think Aaron Rodgers fits in Pittsburgh, not because of Aaron Rodgers, but because of the whole rest of the structure around him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It could.
But I'm with you. He's such a diva. You don't want anything good to happen.
And I'm banking on
him.
I mean, I've never seen that happen. I've never seen
such a diva, man.
I've never seen somebody 4 snaps in blow an Achilles. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's got his own little cloud
around him.
Yeah. There's something following him around, man.
I mean, I get you. But
it might have gone back to that COVID when he lied about getting vaxxed, man. Like, I don't know. He got some bad karma somewhere in the game. Maybe he need a new nickname. You know what I'm saying? A-Rod played baseball. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know, the real A-Rod. Don't get me wrong. Alex Rodriguez. You understand what I'm saying? Aaron Rodgers. You know, the trillest thing I ever read about the kid was when he was at Cal with Beast Mode. And they did something, and Beast Mode did some ignorant ass shit, didn't know the play. He was a freshman and didn't know didn't know this, didn't know that. And some kind of way went and scolded. Coach finna get on Beast Mode ass, and A-Rod stuck up, say, hey, that's my fault. You know what I'm saying? It's the only trill thing I've ever heard of him doing in life. You know what I'm saying?
But he's talented. And
he's talented.
Go down in the Hall of Fame.
He's a Hall of Famer.
He can still play.
But he's a Hall of Famer in that it's the same hype and the same buzz that was around when that faggot ass number 4 was in Green Bay before. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dog. You a gun. Yeah, he got better tools. Better quarterback, maybe.
In fairness to what you're saying, he has not done better. He might be more blessed.
He's on par. Yeah, he's on par. And
but
you're right. He's a
they
better
did about the
quarterback
same
per
in
se.
Green Bay.
Because
Both got one chip,
and the thing
MVP
is,
and all that.
Because see, Favre, I mean, you know what? Favre had more Cutler in him or something.
Yeah.
Favre don't give a fuck. He'll throw a pick, don't give a fuck. They're gonna try to tackle y'all, this, that, and other. A-Rod outthink you. He's definitely more athletic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, it just didn't have to be such a bitch all the time. You know
That's
what I mean?
the
That's
thing.
all
I
it is.
get it. I get it.
Look.
It's the mentality. It's hard to deal with him, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what better team than a veteran team with veteran leadership?
Somebody smack me. Maybe TJ smack him in the mouth.
Yeah,
Who
you know,
knows?
and here's the thing. It's like
Tomlin ain't gonna play that either.
Well, and here's the thing. Like, we overachievers over here. We actually helping you out. Whereas you might have thought you was helping the Jets out. And I think a lot of us thought he was helping the Jets.
Go round.
Right. Yeah. So it's probably a privilege for you to even be on this team. All right. But I mean, all right. I mean, I get it. All right. All right. Let's forecast a little bit, then we'll move on. Who will have the best second season out of the following quarterbacks? Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Drake Maye, Caleb Williams.
It's hard.
Forecasting.
It's hard not to go with man. It's hard not to go with that young Jaden because they got better around him and they already got to the conference final. So,
but do we expect somewhat of a drop off? Because here's the thing:
second year.
We trying to more tape,
and not just the sophomore jinx, but you're on everybody's radar now. You're in everybody's game plan now.
And that division is just a dog.
It's a dog division in the NFC East.
I still like it. It's him or Bo Nix because it's like Drake Maye and Caleb are both making incremental progress, but I see them both having a more Trevor Lawrence type season. You know what I'm saying? Their clubs are in flux. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like this is not just them. If it was a matter of being just them, and it's evident. The two playoff quarterbacks are there. They got the most to work with. They got the most development to do. Yeah. Now, Bo Nix, because he was playing so far above what I thought he was capable of playing.
Right. Nobody had expectations.
Right. I just don't know if he can really realistically get any better, minus the team around him getting just exponentially better. But Jaden, you know what I'm saying? He really did what he did kind of with a dumbed down playbook. I didn't think we saw the best of Jaden Daniels that whole year. That game against Philly wasn't his fault.
And that's a fair statement. That's a fair statement.
We haven't even seen the best of that kid yet. And look, the sky is clearly the limit, you know. So
okay, so let me and I'm on par with you on that. I'm leaning towards Daniels, but I also asked myself that question, and Chuck said it the sophomore season. Okay, now you're in everybody's game plan. And I still think he has the tools to still be able to do what he can do because a lot of his plays come off of him improvising. So I don't think that changes. I do think that teams put a spy on him. I think they play him differently, but I still think that he can do that.
Caleb could be the dark horse.
Now, that's what I wanted to get to because here's the thing. And you brought it up somewhat with Bo Nix. So I'm going to debate you a little bit on this, but I'm kind of following the path you're going. I don't think Bo Nix's impact on his team is as serious as it is with Daniels and Williams.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
You see what I'm saying? So,
not at all.
I hate to throw Caleb in there.
But you almost have to because he's got, I mean, an offense around him as it stands.
But that's the question, though, because see, that's what I'm saying.
I think his aptitude, he is going to progress. I don't think he would regress.
I think he's good enough. I think he's good enough. The question is, with what Chicago has.
I think with Rome and Keenan and them out there, another year, summer to get on the same page.
I think Chicago has a chance because that division, which I've told y'all all year, I think is one of the most underrated divisions. It's going to be a tough division, but I just can't imagine his season being as worse than it was this season.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm basing it off the expectations we had for him because he was a number one pick.
But he didn't look bad.
I don't think he did.
He didn't look bad. Like
I just think
he looked better than Trevor Lawrence.
Exactly. I don't think it was as bad as it was advertised. Now, we had a lot of high expectations for him, but I don't think he really played that bad. I think the Bears are still improving. But if I had to say hands down, based on what I've seen, it would be Daniels.
Yeah.
That has more of an upward trajectory, because I think I don't think the Broncos are asking Knicks to do too much.
No.
I think they're asking him to game manage, and they've got a hell of a defense now.
Because I can't name a single head from that receiving corps.
Can't.
Like, I don't know any receiver in Denver.
But they've got a stud offensive line, and their defense has been underrated. They got one of the top 5 defenses.
Is it the backs? Is it the running backs?
No. Well, they got good serviceable backs, but their defense is dog.
Yeah, with certain,
and they don't put a lot of pressure on Bo Nix to make spectacular plays.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's a little bit better than what I think they expected him, but I just think the impact of Daniels and maybe Williams, and we don't know what Maye is yet.
And their biggest problem is they pushing for a wild card, because I don't know if Kansas City gonna take a big enough step back. Kansas City or the Chargers, be honest.
Right.
Or the Raiders. Shit,
right.
It's like they loaded out there.
See, we don't know what the Raiders going to
we don't know what they're going to look like with Geno. That's true. That's true.
Right. All right. Let's skip on down. Let's go to the association. We just talked about the playoffs, but let's talk about just a few things, and then we'll get out of here. We ain't gonna get a chance to go through all these topics, but let's go through this. Let's talk about this. All right. For the life of me, I couldn't understand this, and I think this is an internal issue. But how do we feel about the firing of Mike Malone? I mean, here's the thing: it was like 4 games before the playoffs started.
Yes, dog. Yes.
Number one, can you think in your mind, you too, Chuck, if you can answer this, why would an NBA team fire?
The Joker don't like him. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You're a 4th seed going into the playoffs. It's not like you in the play-in. Even the Joker don't lie. You still have had a successful season. Why would you
do it now instead of after the season?
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I don't understand.
I think as an organization, because y'all just making it clear.
We could point. But here's the thing. Here is the thing, and I'm saying this to the Nuggets. Let's say Joker didn't like him.
Mm-hmm.
You made the 4th seed. Number one, let's just be honest. You're not as talented as Oklahoma City.
Nope.
You're not as talented, you might be just as talented as the Rockets, but the Rockets overachieved and they're young. Mm-hmm. Okay, that leaves the Lakers. Now, you could be upset that you're not better than the Lakers, but let's just get it out there in the open. LeBron is still playing well, and they got Luka. Mm-hmm. So there's only 3 teams in the West that is better than you. Whatever is going on eternally, it couldn't wait to the end of the season, because regardless of how you feel about Mike Malone, you're firing a coach who, number one, won you a chip. The best player in the NBA came under his regime, whether that was resistance or not, between Joker and the coach. And you do it 4 games before the playoffs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's, I think that's some weird NBA stuff going on.
Exactly. It's got
him as the other coach, Memphis coach.
Yeah. Taylor. Yeah.
It even happened it's like Giannis coach.
Coach Bud. Yeah, before he got this Phoenix job.
So it's weird.
It's weird.
I'm not sure. I guess he was standing 10 toes down and did something that the front office just really wasn't going to stand for, because I can't see it anything being. I mean, think about it. We've lived through players sleeping with other players' mamas and old ladies and all kind of absolutely vile things going on. But like I said, before the playoffs, I mean, and I understand your statement in that it's kind of like a Luka move. It's like, look, fool, I'm playing the long game. We done got a chip with you already, but the means to get to this next chip, you're gonna have to assimilate a couple of things and values that we observe.
But that's okay if we're making the play-in. Yeah. Because if we making the play-in,
you got to shake it up. You got to shake something,
right? So we can understand that, like, we did not achieve what we thought we should achieve. They're in the 4th seed with a chance to contend for another championship
with the best player in the world, man.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's
and I mean, what are you comparing this season to? The championship season?
Yeah. I mean, it's like I don't know whether you want.
It's just a weird firing and the timing of it. And okay, here's the thing.
It's worse than Darvin Ham. It's bad.
Because even with Darvin Ham, even with my man, it makes me think about my man with Cleveland when LeBron was there. They were in first place. They got rid of him, but that was in the regular season. They were nowhere near the playoffs, and it was said that he couldn't get along with LeBron. Okay, we can make a change right now. It doesn't affect our positioning in the playoffs. I think they were 20 games in or something like that. So if you're gonna fire somebody, that's even if they winning, that's
and the thing is, there ain't been no rumblings. Westbrook ain't been fussing by coming off the bench.
Kept it inside.
Yeah, it must have been internal. It must have been something internal.
So I just didn't understand the firing of him right now. I think, you leave the door open for, what if the team was playing well and that disrupted, If it's something going on, my whole thing is if it's something going on that's detrimental to the team, it's not showing up on the court.
Maybe it's the way he handles Murray. Maybe Jamal Murray ain't playing quite up to,
and that's
he's not making best use out of Murray.
Because we're not seeing the best version of Murray, but he's had some injuries.
Right. That's what I would blame that on.
So it's just a weird time, like Chuck said. I think that's a perfect way to describe it. It's just a weird firing. It's a weird firing in terms of results. It's a weird firing in terms of timing,
Because then what do? What are the worst case? The best case scenario, they mess around and stumble their way onto a final and win one. Now you got this interim coach. Have you proven that now is the era of the player coach where the Joker just coaches himself? And
and who, I don't even remember who ended up taking over. I'm assuming it was somebody that's already on the coaching staff, right?
As an assistant.
Because you don't bring nobody new in.
I don't know that dude.
You can't do that, So it's just weird, man.
It's been all around the league. I'm sitting there thinking about what's my guy in Sacramento?
Mike Brown.
Mike Brown.
Like
dude coming off a winning season, turned the team around.
And that's the thing. I understand that more because of the motive potentially replacing Pop. I can see that angle. Maybe they got the inside. But even then,
that's an external thing. Let's just look at what this man did in Sacramento. They second round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
With De'Aaron Fox as a rising star and probably an MVP candidate. Everything was set
that year.
Yeah. They needed maybe 1 or 2 more veteran players, but to turn around and fire him, well, and San Antonio could have pushed for that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, Sacramento, what is it that, if it's something with you, what did Mike Brown not do?
Exactly.
So, I don't know, man. It's one of those weird firings, like Chuck said. I think that's the perfect way to describe it. I don't get it. All right. Are any of us surprised about this? Well, I'll give my opinions. Kenny Atkinson of the Cleveland Cavaliers has won the 2024-2025 NBA Coach of the Year. That's the head coach for Cleveland. Now, I rival him with Udoka. However, I understand. I think Cleveland has had the best record all year, right? And I guess the expectations, nobody expected Cleveland to be this well. I thought it should have been Udoka. I thought Udoka had more of a harder job dealing with the young players that he had. And I think Cleveland had more of an established superstar in Mitchell. And I think Cleveland, and I'm not taking anything away from Coach Atkinson. I think he's done a great job. I just think the Houston job was harder.
I think on the head-to-head, we might even own Cleveland for the most part. We were one of the few teams that had good fortune against Cleveland. Right.
And I think this award, it's one of those things like the All-Star game, the best coach with the best record is going to get the award.
Because I throw your boy in there too, just off top. Who was it? Is it Deion? How you say his name in OKC?
He's done a marvelous job.
It's like, you can't do nothing but tip your hat to that guy. Anybody but JJ, you did. You know what I'm saying? That's like, all right, anybody but JJ, because he ain't got nothing to do with what's going on.
Right. And that's how I kind of feel about Cleveland. I like Atkinson. Let me not say that in the same sentence of JJ. What's going on in Los Angeles, but I just think, okay, take the guy from OKC,
put him in Cleveland. Same thing happened.
Yeah, and I could give it to him over Oklahoma. I could give it to him over Atkinson because, again, younger players. That even though that franchise does a great job drafting, he's done a marvelous job.
Is this year 2? What they finished out west last year? They finished first last year?
Yeah, something close to that or something like that.
Shit. Yeah.
And they've possibly got the MVP of the league on that team.
They got him.
I just think that
do the Cavs do what they're doing now with Ume, with our coach as their coach?
I think definitely.
Think so?
Yeah. I just think Udoka is a great coach. I think people, and we'll break this down just a little bit. People don't understand. Listen, this organization was coming from a tragedy in terms of you had Silas here. You had a Harden that blew up. You ran John Wall through here. You ran Boogie Cousins through here. You ran what's the kid, the African kid that could jump but always stayed hurt, the guard. You ran Oladipo. You ran him through here. You had an incident on the bench where guys walked off in the middle of the game. And you were stuck at the mercy of this kid, Jalen. We're going to have to make him our superstar. He didn't play college ball. So you had a lot of situations to where a guy who was ran out of Boston because of a off the field, off the court situation has to come in. Not only does he have to keep his reputation clean, but he has to clean up a new organization, an organization that was in turmoil.
Once you got to clean, huh? Yeah.
Say whatever you want about Cleveland. They had an established structure. They just needed somebody to bring some harmony to it. Say what you want about Oklahoma City. They've always had great GMs. They've always drafted well. Oklahoma City always drafts well. What's that dude named
Presti? Sam
Presti. So there was a foundation. The Rockets had nothing in order. New manager, Raphael Stone. Fertitta takes over the team. So you had to start everything over. And you had to get somebody in here. And for him to win as good as they've won this early with young guys, you don't see that with young guys turning over overnight like that.
And the thing is, the blueprint is there in Boston where he left it. It's right. Like you can tell where that team now.
And that's a historic franchise. And he comes from a historic franchise. He comes from the San Antonio Spurs.
With the Spurs.
Exactly. So I just think for what he had to do, I didn't have the Rockets being number 2 in the West this year.
Not at all.
I had them getting in the play-in.
You feel me? We had that conversation right
here.
Yeah, we had.
I didn't have them nowhere near the top. And I still don't think they're a number 2 team. I just think he coached his ass off.
You feel me?
I just don't. I've told y'all that all year. I think the guy has done marvelous because I just don't think they're as talented as they lead, but they play hard and they play the right
how much
way.
They look like U of H now. Thinking about
exactly.
That's like, shit. That's a lot.
I'm telling you, I've never thought
we always punching up.
Right. And that's why I told y'all, even the 2 superstars, do they deserve to be all-stars? Yeah, but they're not fully solidified for me right now.
Not at all. Because I didn't want to believe it, but you getting better production out of like Cade Cunningham in Detroit.
Exactly.
Just in all honesty, it's like
exactly. And I just think that's why I was telling y'all earlier before. It's like we don't have anybody. We have guys that can get us 20, get us 30, but we don't have nobody that can go get us 40. Oklahoma City has a guy that can go get 40. Cleveland got a guy that can go get 40. Anybody from Boston between the 2 kids can get you 40.
We got 2 guys.
Exactly. Garland can give you 40 any given night. So I just think we've overachieved this year.
Yeah.
I think we've overachieved beyond anything. I mean, nobody.
It's a system. It's the system.
And it's the style that he's got them playing, and he's gotten them understand that if we don't play this way, we're not going to win. So we're going to do things that traditionally young, talented guys don't do. We're going to hustle. We're going to play hard. We're going to play defense.
Yeah, we're going to
rebound. So I just think he overachieved. Yeah. I just don't think they were as good as they advertised.
We coming along a lot sooner than expected.
I tell you, I did not have them being a number 2 seed.
Yeah.
Nowhere we're all on the same page without, and I'm gonna let you get back to your notes. But just since we're talking Houston, we're on the same page with not trying to get KD.
Oh, we can already talk about that next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I saw the rumors on the gram. I was like, man, please don't break this team.
Well, he's always wanted to come here.
And he's in love with Udoka.
Well, here's the thing. I'm against it. But I will say this.
Me too.
I will say this. I'm against it for him. Because everywhere he's gone, and we're going to talk about that next, when he leaves, is burnt down when he leaves. I don't care what nobody says. He's a great player, Hall of Famer. But at this point in his career, everywhere he leaves, it just turns down. And we're going to talk about that. If there's a coach that could get him here and keep us from falling, because regardless of how I feel about him, he's still a talented scorer.
Oh, it's KD.
The only time that he wins, and I think Houston can do this, not like Golden State, but hear me out. He wins with an established structure. He wins with a great coach. It's just what people are not accepting, and I think it's starting to come out, is you cannot build your franchise with him and say, take us to the promised land. Now, you can have it to where, what does he do best? Score.
Yeah, he's not a leader.
He's not a leader. And if I think the Rockets could do it, but again, what are we willing to give up?
I don't want to give up Junior.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
my I don't want to give up any of our pieces. That we
exactly. Because you got to ask that question. And again, the Rockets are going to come to this forefront. We have the supporting cast. We got a budding star. I think the Thompson kid is just a superstar. I think the kid is one season away from being a perennial all-star.
Straight up.
So you got to ask yourself, if you bring in another superstar, number one, are you stunting his growth? I mean, Thompson. I got a high ceiling for him.
I think so.
And then number two, you bring in Durant, that changes the scope of your team, because now you need shooters around him. Because you're going to give him the ball.
You feel me? Amen is not
Can
that
you
type
see
of
him
threat.
sitting around while Durant is dribbling 50 times?
And that's why I think what Udoka was going to, if you do that, we still running through LP.
You have to a certain extent.
Got to.
And if you ain't running through him, you got to do pick and roll with him.
Yeah.
You know,
you got to put him in the mix, but you can't just.
And see, the way Jabari's been playing for lately, I'm not willing to part with
That's
Jabari.
what I said. I don't want to
But
part
the
with
only
Jabari.
thing
I don't
about
want to part with
Jabari-
Amen.
If Jabari, if he can give me that, I'm with it.
But see, he been giving him numbers,
but
man.
he ain't been consistent this season. Now, I'm
Well,
willing
he was hurt. He was hurt.
Okay, well, maybe that's
He
what
was
it
hurt
is.
for a
Now,
little
I'm
minute.
willing to take that journey next year.
Because it was a polite discovering Amen. We inserted him in Atlanta when Jabari went down. Because it's like, in a perfect world, I got them both out there.
But I hate to I don't want to be negative Nancy, but here's the thing. It's going to come down to this. He's playing well. Amen's playing well. And Eason, somebody going to leave.
Yeah.
That's the reality.
Exactly.
That's the reality.
So as an organization, who are you willing to trade or let walk out of that door? Because I like Eason.
I do too.
I like Eason.
I do too.
I think, to me, Amen stays. It's between Eason and Jabari.
It's between Eason and I think like we get a lot of chatter for the homie Whitmire. You know what I'm saying?
Whitmore. Yeah, Whitmore.
Well, I think he can stay because he can play a point guard. He can play a two guard because he's really undersized, but he's just such a great scorer. But you got three guys.
I feel like he can be a 6-man on anybody's roster.
Yeah,
but our bench nice and warm at the end.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Again, there's a place. In my opinion, there's a place for him as a backup point guard, as a two guard. There's a place for him. There's not a place for three guys that are anywhere from 6'6" to 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" that all do the same thing. Now, man is the future.
Yeah.
Eason has proven himself.
You feel me? And he was a steal.
Exactly. Now look at Jabari. He's playing well. So somebody's going to have to go. I just think they all play the same position because if you let Whitmire go, and just think about this, if you let Whitmire go, your best scorers on the team is Sagoon, and that's high percentage shots. So that's got to stay. Green is talented. That's your creator. He can score from anywhere, driving, pulling up, and all that. Other than that, who do you have that can fill it up? You're gonna save Amen because he can give you contributions. and both sides of the ball.
Both, mainly defense.
Because he remind you damn near of a big De'Aaron Fox some kind of way.
Right. He's got that kind of potential because he can also give you that. I think the kid can be a 20-point scorer in the game as well.
Yeah.
So you're going to keep that. Other than that, who do you have on this team right now? The team could change next year. That can just flat out give you buckets. It's Whitmire. He's just undersized.
Or Junior. Like Jabari.
But see,
when he gets the minutes, he was like when he was starting before injury, he was averaging.
See, and I like his shooting touch too. I like his even to the three. Like he keeping boys honest.
I just
we could trim some fat off the back with like Jayshawn Tate with a couple other guys we can kind of part with.
Think, in my opinion, Whitmire you can get scoring and a guard. I think Jabari. I think it comes down to Jabari Eason. I'm keeping a man. Whoever has the best training camp, the other person go.
See, and if the leg issue is worked out with Eason, I like it because he's cheap. He's cheaper anyway. Period. You know what I'm saying? Jabari was what
Jabari gonna get a bag
third draft
somewhere.
pick. Yeah, third draft pick, and he's got a nice skill set. He's young. He's young. He's a young rookie.
More if you trade Jabari.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, value wise. Yeah. So I just think those three, somebody gonna have to go. As much as I don't want to see it, if I could keep them all, I would. But I just feel like it's going to end up being unless you know, it also could depend on. A man is so versatile. You could say, can you play a two guard? Which he can, because matchup wise, defensively, he can match up with anybody. Two, so then you can free up that space for spot. 2 6'8", 6'7" guys like Eason, and maybe what you do is you just let them battle out in training camp. We bring them both back.
By committee. For real.
Maybe you do that. Maybe you don't even do anything. You just say, hey, man, the best way and win. And if they both play well and we got room, then you both let them play. You know. So we'll see. I don't know, man. I just think that time is coming up.
Okay, I went tripping.
They got Pat out there, Bernard King, Melo. Hey man,
they trying to put together everything.
They really trying hard. It's really unfortunate. I feel sorry for
54-53, third quarter, Detroit.
All right, we'll get out of here for now. We got some other topics we can bring back next week. Oh, let me ask y'all a baseball question. Who would you rather have at first base? Albert Pujols or Frank Thomas?
Jeez, dog.
That's heat.
Who would I rather have at first base?
So both first basemen.
I know, and then I'm sitting here thinking about the offensive end of the game as well. Man, Pujols.
Yeah, I love Pujols, but I cannot pick the Big Hurt, man. I got to go with the Big Hurt. He really was.
Look, career-wise, Pujols had better numbers.
Oh, really? Really? At the end, he might have played a lot longer too, though, huh?
Yeah, he played longer. But Frank was at the time that Frank was good. Frank was very good, very good. So
Frank lacing boys' shoes about that low T, man. Frank say, "Hey, man."
Shout out to the Astros. Since you're talking baseball, me and wifey just went to St. Louis.
How was it?
It was dope.
It was. Yeah. Y'all watched the game when y'all went out there?
Yeah, we went. They was out there for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You know how them baseball games be. We went out there. We caught the Tuesday game. That was the one they won.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
And so, man, shout out to St. Louis, man. Shout out to Busch Stadium. The stadium was dope.
Yeah,
it's dead center downtown, surrounded like you can see the game from like all.
And they're a historical franchise.
It was hard, man.
They're big in St. Louis. They're like the team in
St. Louis was dope, man. Legal cannabis, good food. The Stros won. You know what I'm saying? The weather was fine. Yeah. Me and wifey had a blast.
Shout out to the first lady of Most Serious.
Yes, indeed.
I'm going Pujols.
Yeah, me too. I'm riding with Pujols, and I rock with Big Hurt. Don't get twisted with Pujols at first base was me. Yeah.
And then
he did the Astros in a couple of years.
Yeah,
and it went to the highest level. Like I never saw Frank in a situation where,
what I'm saying.
You know, like Pujols. I mean, I know that's jury.
It's jury, and then I hate to say this, like, because I ain't gonna say that, but I'm gonna step out on them. But there was a time when Pujols was the best first baseman in baseball.
Oh, period,
hands down.
Period.
And not to say Frank wasn't. It might have been more competitive with Frank with first baseman. But we got to look at Frank's
era.
Yeah,
it's like the way the White Sox was set up.
Yeah,
it just
Right.
They didn't make full advantage. They didn't take full advantage of a talent like Frank.
Right. All right, threw a little baseball out there. All right, let me get to some shout outs and we get up out of here. All right, shout out to my boy. Y'all know I was gonna bring it up to the new IBF, WBA, and Ring Magazine welterweight champion of the world. My favorite fighter, Jerron Boots Ennis, for stopping him, man, and Stanionis. He took that WBA from Stanionis. He is now unified. And check this out. He also joins the company of the following boxers in welterweight history. The ring belt. Floyd had it from 2006 to 2008. Floyd also had it in 2013 to 2015. And guess what? Terrence Bud Crawford had it from 2023 to 2024. He vacated. But Boots joins that elite company of welterweights. That's the Darling division, the division that Floyd made popular, 147 pounds. So shout out to my man. We didn't get a chance to come back after the NCAA tournament. That hurt me that U of H lost that game. But shout out to Florida for becoming a national champion, the NCAA champion in basketball. And shout out to my man Chauncey, man. They're giving him a hard time out there in Portland, but they decided to give him a contract extension out there with the Portland Trailblazers. I haven't been able to find out all the details, but shout out to my man Chauncey for getting that contract extension. All right, Ro, you got any shout outs, man, before we get out of here?
Nah, I'm empty. You got him. Like I said, Boots deserve all that props because I didn't think he was gonna stop old buddy. Like that was.
I've been telling y'all that.
Yeah, that was tough.
Fight was tough.
That was tough.
I watched that boy fold.
But
no mas.
Listen. Let me tell you something. And it's been discussed all over the boxing world, and I'm not even sure if I'm on par with it. But some people saying he deserves to be on the pound for pound list. I'm not ready to put him there yet, even though he's my favorite fighter because he's done all this in one division. Marbury at the game. Shout out to Marbury up in New York, man. Shout out to Cole, man. I hope he's having a good time out there. But I think Boots is the next thing, man.
Yeah.
I think he's the next thing. I think from 147 to 160, 168, he's the man. No disrespect to Crawford. I just think Crawford is on his way out.
Yeah.
Other than Crawford, I think Boots is next up.
How old is Boots?
27, 28.
Okay. Yeah. I give him another. He gonna have a nice solid little run.
Yeah.
Defensive depth. If he decides to stay, he probably get bigger.
Well, that's the question because I think he does. It's just a matter of not if we can get people to cross the street with these promotional companies, but if they're able. See, Brian Norman has a WBO, which he's over there with Top Rank, and Barrios has a WBC over there with PBC. And how do you make a unification? Because I think if you can get undisputed between, I think him and Norman are the best two champions at 147, and I think he washes Norman.
Yeah, man, that's why I'm kind of excited a little bit about the dude Dana White kind of getting into boxing.
Well, we'll see
because I think that question you talking about right there, how can we unify? He gonna make these fights happen.
Well, it happens in the UFC because Dana had everybody under the UFC. Yeah. See, boxing is the wild, wild west.
And I think he's gonna begin to change that, fam.
But you got to fight the commissions. You got to fight the commissions, and you got to fight the. See, the commission.
It didn't take money to fight.
I think he can grease him.
He got that money.
Yeah, but here's the conflict in boxing. The conflict in boxing is this. Like, and I guarantee you, if y'all ever get a chance to look this up, the WBO, and boxing is the crookedest sport out there. It's the Wild Wild West. The WBO is what we call linked to Top Rank. The nickname for the WBO is what Bob orders. Bob Aaron.
Yes, sir.
The WBA, if you look throughout the years, is linked to who? The PBC, Al Heyman. What benefits Al? Look at Tank, Floyd, they all held them WBAs and they never unified. Benavidez used to hold a WBA. Yeah. That's PBC, Al Heyman. WBC, generally in bed with the PBC, Canelo.
That's Oscar. Well, that was Oscar now.
Yeah, and that's why I tell people all the time, it's so corrupt. Now, Dana, it worked under Dana because what Dana did was there's a catch-22. Dana says, if you fight in the UFC, I'm your promoter. So it's my way or the highway. And that's why we need to get boxing unified. But the promotional companies are in bed with the commissions. That's why Turk is making such a dent
Turk
because Turk is putting up so much money that what they're doing is they're saying, like, for example, Shakur is with Matchroom. That's where Boots is at. Turk is giving Shakur so much money that Matchroom is saying, okay, you can go over there for that fight.
Yeah. We'll be a fool to stop you from
right
getting that money.
because the Turk is paying us.
Exactly.
So Turk is getting closer to now him and Dana are working together where, hey, PBC for this fight, I got it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, all right, well, give us our cut. And we'll, you know what I'm saying? So that's the closest thing to it. But
it's like finding the catch weight, you know.
Right. And that's what's doing Shakur in right now. The Turk is helping him, but for years, and the commissions are like this. It's like
Shakur Day win in August,
July.
Oh, okay.
And that's under Turk. Turk put that fight together with him.
That's that card, that big card.
Yeah, that big card. And it's like it's so corrupt in boxing, and then we'll wrap up. But it's like this. It's like even with Teofimo with Top Rank. The reason why Top Rank is taking him through so much. I mean, he says a lot of dumb shit, but with these promotional companies, if you don't follow the plan, if you mess up the plan, what messed Teofimo's career up is he was supposed to lose to Lomachenko. Top Rank had Lomachenko as the man.
Yeah.
And so when you mess up their plans,
did a whole bunch of stuff down the road.
It happened with Ryo. Ryo beat Pitbull Cruz, got the belt. And we were trying to build Pitbull so we can get that second fight with Tank.
Yeah.
But since you fucked that up, we're going to put you against Gary Antoine Russell.
Yeah.
And it's like when you win a belt as a champion, you're supposed to get a chill out fight.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I'm fighting Gary Antoine Russell. I just won the belt.
Yeah,
we're going to punish you.
Yo, you have to keep this money.
Get this money off of you.
Right. And PBC thought it backfired on them with Crawford and Spence, because they thought he ain't gonna beat Spence.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good. It might be a tough day at the office at best, but now
and that messed up the whole PBC. It messed up everything. You know what I'm saying?
It messed up boxing. Like it changed my whole fandom. Like that was a big
It was a big shock because everybody knew Earl was gonna win that fight.
Or
all the way up and down 45. All the way up and down that 45, man. You had boys out here hollering and say, man, we're gonna check that Spence out, man. That Spence the real deal, man.
Yeah, I mean, Spence had Jerry Jones in his locker room. Everybody thought that he was gonna win that fight. And so when boxing, if you the guy that kind of disturbs everything, they punish you.
You feel me? Like,
so
everybody saw Rocket 3. You know what I'm saying? It's like we should have known who was in the gym putting in that work. You know what I'm saying? We should know who had the Hollywood count and who had the real count. You know what I'm saying? And shit, anybody named Terrence Crawford, they call that nigga Bud, though. You know that nigga putting work in. You dig? That nigga working hard.
Hey, shout out to everybody who checked out episode 11 on season 4 with DWB. That's the Bake with Bake, man. We give a shout out to Road, man. Chuck behind the wheels of steels, best producer in the business. Shout out to my man Cole. Cole, we hope you're having a good time out there in New York.
He's stressing right now.
He should be stressing right now, man. Detroit might win it, but shout out to everybody that's on the label. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Make sure you give us a thumbs up. Make sure you go on the website. Check us out at moserious.com. Go get your gear. Put on your hat. It's summertime. Get them t-shirts. Get them tank tops. And make sure you come on and check us out, man. We're doing some big things at Most Serious, man. Get behind us. But that is it for episode 11 DWB, man. I am Debate with Bake here with my boy Laro Roski to the side. Shout out to Cole, man. And we are out. We'll catch y'all on the next one.
Debate with Bake. Season 4. Let's go. Here we go. Debate with Bake Sports Show. Season 4 live at Mo City Radio. We talking basketball, football, and boxing. You got something to say, man? Jump up in them comments. We just giving opinions, supporting it with proof. Let's look at the stats, cause numbers tell the truth. It ain't no hating, no. We just debating, interviewing guests so we can can learn how they operating. Shout out to Prize Picks for the daily fantasy. Invest a few dollars, let's do some gambling. C-Bake got the topics and he keep it cracking. Laro got the commentary and he never lacking. Cole with the game, he live from the Big Apple. You know, most serious entertainment made it happen. Another sports show, we live from the Mo. Debate with Bake, season 4, let's go.